Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Untapped Podcast. My name is Jacob Gabel.
And my name is Jacob Wurtz, and this is Season 3, Episode 1.
Wow, that was wonderful.
What's going on, dude? We're back.
By the way, we got a sick song bringing you guys into
Oh
the
my
podcast
gosh. Yeah, how
today.
sick was that, guys?
Oh
How nasty
my
was that?
goodness.
Yeah, we came across that probably, 4 months ago, maybe?
4 or 5? Yeah, something
like that.
Yeah.
Like, we just literally happened upon it, and we were like,
yes, yeah.
oh my gosh. Game changer. Game changer.
I'm actually surprised by our self-control of not making that the intro.
I know. We were like,
at that
yo,
point in time.
should we change it right now? Like, should we literally just change it?
We were
Like, no, we can't do that
We
mid-season.
were like halfway through season 2 at that point in time. Yeah, and we were like, yeah, let's do it. Change it. Yeah.
We were so ready. Thankfully, Mitchell, who our third voice on the podcast, Mitch, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Thankfully, he talked us out of
Yes.
switching it
He
immediately.
talked us off the ledge. Yeah, yeah.
No, that's definitely a really, really cool intro. And guys, that's just one of a few different changes actually for Season 3 here. So the first thing we want to do is actually go over the new formats. We actually switched all of the names other than guest. Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah,
Guest will remain the same. But our first we have Forging Fortitude, and that is what was known as EX Mind, and this is where we cover everything to do with the mental side of things. Those are probably some of my favorite episodes, and they always do really, really well for us because people love to get new ideas on mindset, mentality, different ways that you can just strengthen your mental fortitude and forge that fortitude.
Ew.
Hey.
That's kind of your bread and butter too, because of Merry Mondays and
Yeah.
whatnot. Like you're
Yeah.
very good with the mindset stuff and whatnot, and articulating that type of topic.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I enjoy that,
Yeah.
and I try my best, especially with my Merry Mondays. I'm glad you just brought that up, but I try my best to not just regurgitate
Oh, yeah.
other things.
yeah.
Now, there are definitely times where I get inspiration from other quotes,
Sure.
or I have used quotes before and whatnot, but I always just try to come up with something on my own, even if it's an idea from something or someone else. But next, guys, we have Physical Vitality. Man, that's such a cool name.
It is
such
really,
a cool
it's
name.
a wonderful name. Yeah.
And this is what was known as EX Fit. So these are fitness episodes, and you're actually really good with the definition of vitality. So I'm going to let you say the definition of it.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So vitality, guys, it mainly refers to physical and mental, basically either vigor and or if you ever think of the word vitals, it connects to that.
yeah.
Vitals is if your vitals are strong, it's a sign of life. It's a sign
Right.
of that you are functioning at a high level physically and or mentally, because usually those two go hand in hand. Just like we
Exactly.
talk about a lot of times.
Right.
So that's where vitality comes from, guys. And we want to talk about just like kind of breathing life into the physical aspect of things, and not just
Right.
being gym bros and coming on here and just talking about, do this for hypertrophy.
Exactly. Yeah.
know,
So in
so,
those episodes, we really want to just talk about being at your peak form physically.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why we went with physical vitality.
Yeah. And our first change we made when it comes to our formats is our next one. It's breaking news, which was our EX current format from
Right.
season 2. That one was a pretty easy one for us to change. Just
It
because
was.
breaking news, current events. Like I think those go hand in
Exactly.
hand. That's a pretty
Yep.
easy switch. Again, that is where we cover a lot of how past connects to current day events, because again, all we hear is the media feeding us stuff that everything's hitting the fan. Shit's hitting the fan.
Yeah, right.
So we wanted to cover that as much as we can, hopefully wade through and give some clarity to those episodes. But yeah, our final
And
one.
our opinions.
Yes,
too.
and our opinions.
Definitely,
100%.
definitely give our opinions on that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
If you don't like them, you don't have to listen. So
True.
Even better. Yeah, pretty simple. But our final one, and one we're very, very excited about, is the switch from our EX Gentleman episodes to our Knights Table episodes.
Ooh.
Knights Table.
So sick.
Oh man, it's we can thank our producer Mitchell Gabel
Yes.
for that one. I don't even know, where'd you get the inspiration from that?
Just a smart guy over here.
There it is. We're starting off humble.
Very humble.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Kinda
He's
handsome.
definitely smarter than us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not technically denying it.
Probably
but,
more
you know.
handsome too. I don't know about that
Oh,
one.
those are fighting words. Those are fighting words. Sorry,
Not a big deal.
this guy. Who invited him?
Apparently, we decided he was good at technology, and we had to have him on the
Good
podcast.
at technology. Yeah. Whatever.
Just restart something until it works pretty much. I mean, usually how it goes.
That's what they taught him in computer science school. Oh my goodness!
That's always a solution, right? Just restart it. It'll work then.
Just turn it off, turn it back on. Yep. It'll be all right, guys.
So stupid.
But real talk, guys. Knights Table is something we're very excited for.
Yeah.
It'll also connect to something we're going to describe later on, and something that's coming for us this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, super excited about those episodes.
Yeah.
The name sounds so cool. It's the idea. How did Jake put it? Our buddy Jake.
So we asked for a couple opinions on just a couple names we were going between for the format, and I think the direct quote was, "To me, it sounds like men figuring shit out and leading from the front," which is literally what we try to do with those episodes.
Mean.
And just like the image in your mind that the words Knight's Table gives you is just, I think, the essence of what we're trying to create with not only those formats and those episodes, but like you've already kind of hinted at on your Instagram stories and whatnot, what we're trying to do with building an actual group in person, and then eventually we want to expand that to online. But first in person.
Absolutely, yeah.
And really just, talk about strong masculinity, becoming a strong man, what that means, what it means for us, like what we're trying to do to become those types of men, or that type of man. And, Knight's Table, it also just sounds badass.
It just sounds awesome.
Yeah. So, guys, those are going to be our new format names. So not necessarily any new formats, but we are changing the names, and we're going to try to go different directions with them as well. Obviously, we covered all 4 of those in different ways in seasons 1 and 2. But in season 3 here, we're going to try and expand even more.
Oh, yeah.
And we're really excited about those.
And these names give us the ability to expand more.
Yeah, exactly. And it's more eye-catching,
Oh, absolutely.
And I think it's just, they're exciting, So, guys, the next thing we wanted to do is, obviously, we were on about a 3, 4, 5 week hiatus here from the podcast. We wanted to kind of just update you guys on what's been going on over that timeline. First is the apparel. The apparel is happening. We are just about ready to put the order in, but we have all the designs ready to go. We have the company figured out, which is really cool. We're actually going to be able to stay local with it.
Oh, gosh. Awesome.
A lot of people do have to go and use overseas, which we did consider, and it's not completely out of the question, but for this first apparel drop for Untapped, and it will be Untapped, we are looking like it's going to be staying local, which is just awesome to keep it in St. Louis.
Yeah, and which I'm sure, a lot of the times that's the thing, because we were, a lot of the people we've connected with when it comes to apparel, including the VFS guys, for example. The thing is like, pretty much every bit of apparel, almost every apparel company is sourced in some way from China, Vietnam, all those.
Indonesia's
another one. So a lot of the times, I'm sure there's some, like what we're dealing with, we'll have to, some kind of sourcing or made in China, made in Indonesia products we'll have to deal with at some point in time. It's just that if we can keep a good portion of that process local, and then eventually work to keep every bit of it local, that is our goal. And this is kind of our way of, in my opinion, I think it's like leads us toward continuing to be local. It's like us saying, yes, this is a step we will continue to improve on when it comes to be local and US based as well.
Kind of planting the seed a bit just for the future. Just like you said, a lot of companies do use things like Alibaba and whatnot for large quantities. And, for this first one, we're not doing an enormous amount of pieces. So that's another plus that we can, keep it local and whatnot. So we're really excited about that, guys. The designs look sick. We did have some help, and you know who you are, who helped us out. And you killed it, dude. And so we're really, really excited to get that out to you guys.
Yeah. So our next one, which is someone we're very excited about, we've hinted about, on my stories, on our post, et cetera, all that type of stuff, guys, is our men's group and the men's social aspect. Yeah. Which again, this is what I've said this on my stories and posts as well. This is the first step to the men's aspect when it comes to Untapped. This is the social night. This is us gathering. One thing that I really went back to when it came to this men's group and men's community was a podcast I had heard probably a year ago from Ian Smith, Bad MF. Yeah. He basically said that there's a lot of spaces that men don't have to gather anymore. Like most spaces are either shared, which again, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but men don't ever get to gather as men anymore, which is the idea of that Knight's Table as well, and we're not gathering around a table, so to speak. Right. The social nights will allow for that. Again, that's one of those things too. When it comes to the men's group, guys, don't be freaked out again if you're not able to, each one, okay, you're not selected to be in the group that night, because we do have a limited spots available for them. Right. We can't hold 80 guys. Right. At the places we're gonna be.
It'd get real crowded real quick.
Yeah. Whether
now, eventually, yes.
Yeah. Eventually, yes. But even if we're going somewhere, 80 guys isn't feasible. Sure. So if we're like, hey, we're keeping it at this limit, but you'll be in the next one, don't worry about it. Right. And it's one of those things. Again, this is gonna be a really private thing too when it comes to the men's group. So we'll give you all the details, and then that's all we want from there. You kind of keep those details yourself when it comes up. Well, again, more will be coming with that.
For sure. But we're really excited about that. We really are wanting to try and, kind of build a brotherhood in a way,
yeah.
and we
Hint.
it's just a way for us to learn from other people, learn from you guys to possibly learn from us as well, and just all of us to, like you just said, get together, be able to hang out and talk. It's not just going to be hey, let's come over and get drunk and then make bad decisions. Like, no, we're going to try and be productive, and not try. We will be productive. We will get better. We will find new ways to be better men, whatever that means for each individual. And, eventually we've actually got some really, really exciting ideas for the group in the future as well.
Yep.
Like different events and challenges and stuff like that we're trying to put together. So definitely something we're really, really excited about, guys. And that'll be coming very, very soon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like you guys really want to develop some really personable, fruitful relationships with
Absolutely.
with guys who have like minds, whether that be business or personal. It sounds like it's going to be a huge thing.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And, you and I, Gable, we've had the opportunity to be a part of a couple groups like this or go to different events,
Yep.
Men's events and whatnot. Brock Wilson being one of those with his gym in Force Performance. And those nights are awesome. Those events are awesome.
Incredible.
Yeah. It's just a bunch of dudes who, first, you sweat it out. You get a sick workout in. And then second, you sit around and we do our thing. And I'm going to keep that private because that's Brock's goal with it. And that's going to be our goal with it as well. But it's very impactful. It really is. So we're not necessarily trying to just carbon copy what those groups have done, but we want to put our print on it and really make it a part of the brand of Untapped.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of a mindset of abundance thing because there's always other men who need help as well. There's always other men who could, we could use as people to bounce ideas off of, to connect with, that type of stuff, because it's, again, we talk about going local, going US based. That's why it's so big for us, because we're not just, we want to put our money where our mouth is.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
100%. Yeah. So next, guys, over the past few weeks, first, Mitch, you finished 75 hard for the very first time.
What's up?
How we feel?
Littlewood University. What's up?
What's up? Good.
it's from Jeff.
Oh my gosh.
Jeff City
Love that
itself.
guy.
Oh my gosh.
How we feeling after 75?
Dialed.
Yeah?
Dialed for
Yeah.
sure.
Excited that it's over, or do you kind of miss it? Is there a little bit of that, like...
I like I miss the regimented aspect of it. Definitely a little bit of a miss in terms of having structure to my day, so to speak. I guess that'll also come with time, because I just switched over in a new schedule as well. The classic corporate monkey 8 to 4 type thing. So
He said corporate monkey up there.
that's what I am. Eat my bananas and type on the keyboard. Anywho, the regimented part was really nice. I really did enjoy that.
You think that was your biggest takeaway?
Yeah, routines, 100%. Having that routine set by day 30-ish. It took a good amount of time. To set that routine
For sure.
And that I'd say, and I think you're almost kind of experiencing it now, both of you. That little bit of a tired slump. So I'd say that's probably were the most difficult things for me. Was that initial 3-ish weeks struggle, and then day 40-ish through 50, and then I had a spurt from 55 to 60-ish where I was just gassed, just dragging. But I think that plays into where my takeaway was in routines, where by 45 and up, I was so set in those routines.
Exactly.
It didn't matter if I was tired or not. I was going to do it regardless.
Right.
There was no option.
Yep. Right.
And that was a big takeaway. I think
the
I had
no
there.
options mentality.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think, obviously that's not the entire point of the program, but it is one of the bigger ones. One of the bigger points of it. And I first of all, I'm proud of you, dude, for completing it. Like that's a big
Thank
thing.
you, brother.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
of course, man. And obviously your brother and I, we're going through our third round right now. What day are you on?
Day 59 today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Feeling good?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm starting to get out of the tired shit.
Good.
Yeah, because I like 50 to 58, probably 48 to 58 give or take was just. I was like, can I just be done with 75? Like, please, because in all reality, whenever Mitchell finished, because as you guys that have listened from season 2, I had failed.
Yeah,
so like I am technically gonna end up doing like 102 hard or something like that, or whatever it is, however many days it is. So I mean, when Mitchell finished, I was like, that hurts. Like that's a painful one.
Yeah,
but
right.
Yeah, but again, I'm feeling much better at this point in time.
Good, man. Good. I'm on day 70.
Gross.
So we're 5 days away.
Gross.
Yeah.
Lock in.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. At this point,
Dialed.
like today was just a particularly tired day. It's just been a long day. Yeah. But outside of that, like, I'm going to finish. You know what I mean? Like,
it don't matter. You're tired.
Yeah, exactly.
Who cares?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like you just said, it's the routine. And even off of the program, you know, this is our 3rd year in a row doing it. Like, even outside of the program, you know, it's just every day. You know, we're just doing the work every day.
Yep.
You know, like it's just what we do now.
Little SOP action, some standard operating procedures.
Exactly. No, you're exactly right, and that's
Jocko.
Well, and Goggins, I was about to quote Goggins.
Yeah.
Like he just says, you know, if you're gonna wake up at 5 a.m., your body says no. Or you just like, this is what we do now. You know, this is what we do now. Whether that's getting into a routine and a regiment that 75 hard requires, or getting up at 5 a.m. every day, or not eating the cookies, or, you know, whatever it might be, whatever. But yeah, man, I'm excited, feeling really good. The physical changes have been monumental, probably the biggest that they've been as far as a 75 hard run, which is pretty sick.
Which probably means that you're doing your best run so far. That means
absolutely, without a doubt. Yeah, because this time I've really locked in the diet, and I've really, like, every single day I prepare my food. Either in the morning I prepare my food for the entire day, or depending on wake up times and schedule of the next day, sometimes I'll do it the day before. Literally prepare all my food for the entire next day.
Love it.
And pretty much every day I've eaten the same thing, but I don't really care because
that's a big shift for you too.
It is, because like the past or the other 2 runs, I've always, like, the diet. Like, you have to have the diet, otherwise you fail the program.
Oh, yeah.
But on those ones, I think I was a little bit more lenient with myself. Like, the one I always go to is Chick-fil-A. When you think of Chick-fil-A, you think of chicken sandwiches. Like, okay, well, it's a chicken sandwich.
Chicken sandwich, yeah.
You know, like, it's not. There's worse fast food, obviously.
Sure.
But I would always get into my head. It's like, like, does this work for the program? Does this not? And then you go ahead and eat it, and you're like, well, it is a chicken sandwich. Like, yeah, I'm good. But there's always a little part of you that was just like, or part of me that was just like, I don't know if that fits or not. Well, like, I vowed this time, like, okay, we're not, the only places that I would ever eat fast food on are going to be like Chipotle, Qdoba, and then maybe a sandwich place.
Maybe a sandwich shop. Yeah. 100%.
But
we've spent a lot of time at Qdoba.
Oh, yeah, we have.
That
dude hooks us up, though.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
You say double chicken, you're getting 5 scoops.
Our Qdoba spot, this dude is just lit.
Hey, keep that on the low key.
Yeah, true. Well, I didn't say any location. I mean,
yeah, we don't.
It's in Indiana.
Oh, yeah, I thought Massachusetts.
Yeah.
He travels around.
Yeah, it's a roving Qdoba.
But and you know, like, it's working.
Oh,
and it's working tremendously. I really haven't shown too many people the physical changes, just because I'm purposely keeping it hidden
in the lab. He's in the lab.
But I have a good idea for day 75. Don't you worry, it's coming. It's coming. But
that chair.
It was. I did not just slip past, I promise.
For all we know, the mics probably didn't even pick it up. That's hilarious, dude.
But no, we're feeling good. We're feeling good.
Love it, bro.
Yeah. So, guys, last thing we wanted to do for this first episode of season 3. Man, that's so cool. Season 3. That's awesome.
That is sick sounding.
Is we wanted to give you guys some value. We want to leave you with some value. And, you know, this episode has been very highly anticipated. Actually, I want to touch on that real quick. The amount of support and excitement that we have had from listeners and viewers both has been tremendous leading up to season 3. So many people asking when we're going to start recording again. You know, when is, or not when, but what is season 3 going to entail? What are the new changes? Like, just be patient. Like, it's coming. I promise. I promise. We're not just giving you a tease or anything, but the support has been awesome. So, guys, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Like, seriously, it means so much. It really, really gets us both excited. We're always, like, almost daily, we're texting back and forth. It's like, man, like, this is so cool. All these people reaching out, you know, telling us in person, text, DMs, whatever. So, guys, keep that up. We really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, you guys are the people that make it real for us. That make us see that, okay, this is something.
Yeah, it's
working.
working.
I mean, like, this is a real thing that we've put effort into, and it's paying off.
Oh yeah,
which is massive.
Oh
and,
yeah,
and you guys, we can't even express the thankfulness we have for that and the gratefulness we have for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Even over this 3, 4, 5 weeks, whatever it was, like, our followers on Spotify went up. By the way, yeah. If you haven't, and if you're a Spotify listener, follow us on there and please rate the show, because doing both of those things will actually help increase our search engine.
It's SEO, which is search engine optimization. It's basically our visibility.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, if you look up like UN we might pop up quicker than we usually do.
Exactly.
Instead of like you have to look up the full Untapped podcast.
Exactly.
It puts us in people's algorithms more is the idea. Yeah.
So guys, definitely do those two things. A lot of you already have, and we are able to see all those numbers, and it's really, really cool. But if you haven't, do those two things for us, please. And there was another point I had, but I completely am blanking now. But that's okay. But anyway, we wanted to leave you with 3 tips to dominate. Dominate.
Mitchell, I literally at the same time.
The rest of 2023. Number 1, lead us off, dude.
Number 1, ladies and gentlemen, figure out what you're passionate about and spend more time on it.
Yeah.
Where we came up with this, guys, is because it entails what we do daily.
Yeah.
Wurtz is a good example. He's really passionate about content creation. Is gotten very good at it in the last year.
Trying to, anyway.
And continuing to improve on it every day. A good example outside of content creation or what we do here is stuff like, excuse me, guys, is hockey. Mitch and I love playing hockey. For those of you that might have played basketball, soccer, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Find something you're passionate about and continue to do it. Mitchell and I continue to do hockey once a week. Another good example, actually, funny enough, I was thinking about this now that we're going to talk about this is because Mark Anthony Joe's journaling. That's been something that's been like, and I only end up doing it about 3 times a week, which isn't enough.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that it's only takes 15 minutes or so, and like writing down your thoughts for the day and all that stuff. But it helps clear my head in a lot of ways.
Same here.
So that's something small that I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
But it's very useful for what you do. And so the whole idea, guys, is keeping what this book I'm reading right now, it calls it the twinkle in your eye, which is something you're very passionate about. It
This is cool.
It could have been it could have been like you wanted to be an artist of some sort, country music, rap music, whatever. It could have been that you want to be a professional athlete. And then you don't have that twinkle in your eye anymore because you're at a certain point. Or if you're young enough, you still do, and you should definitely be chasing that.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
It's the idea that you should be using this twinkle in your eye to continue pushing you forward. Because if you just give it up and, like Mitchell said, become only a corporate monkey and just kind of sit at your desk and you go to work for 8 hours and come home, get on Netflix, and that's it.
Right.
That is not a good way to live your life. And eventually when you have kids, you're not going to be a good parent at that point in time.
Sure.
You're not going to get the worth out of this life because guess what, guys? We're only on this life for a certain, or we're only in this world for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So why not go after those passions?
Yeah, exactly.
Because your salary and what your job thinks of you won't lead to your long-term happiness.
Right. And we're not saying that you have to turn your passion into a career.
No,
we're just saying spend more time on it. That's the biggest thing. Because if you are just the corporate monkey, and we're just going to keep using that phrase.
It's kind of funny. It's funny. Yeah.
I'm just picturing a monkey with a suit on in my mind, pretty much. But you're not going to get any fulfillment either out of that. It might pay really well, and maybe you do get fulfillment. I shouldn't say you won't, because that's unfair. But if you're not doing anything outside of that, that's not going to give you fulfillment. Because if you're only getting fulfilled from your corporate job or just your job in general, like, I don't know, in my opinion, I would get extremely bored with life, and it would probably lead down to a path of depression and anxiety and mental health issues and whatnot, because you're not doing anything else outside of work, and you can't always be clocked on. You can't always, unless you're an entrepreneur, then you pretty much are always clocked on.
Yeah.
But
at least from what we've seen,
and what we've heard and whatnot, of course. But you have to. There's a word I'm looking for there, but you have to spend time on the things.
You have to. I mean, again, like maybe that corporate job is your passion. Like maybe it is.
Right.
I mean, who knows? Like again, like you could be passionate about computer science and be really good at it, and that could be what you spend some time on outside of there too, like learning new things in it. But again, like for a lot of people, that's not the case.
Sure.
For a lot of people, just your job is not going to be your only identity.
Right.
It's not going to be the only twinkle in your eye.
Right.
And that's just the truth.
Basically, spend more time on your hobbies.
100%.
Like that's the biggest thing here. And you brought up you guys playing hockey and whatnot. One thing that's like making me itch over here is this summer, at least for now, like I'm not going to have the opportunity to play softball like I have the past few years. And you know how much I love it.
It's all fun to watch.
It is, man. And I really enjoy playing it. It keeps those competitive juices flowing, even just a little bit, and get to be around a lot of great people and whatnot. And
Yeah.
I miss that. So right now, just due to my work schedule and me coaching baseball now, like I'm not really able to have that opportunity to play as much or at all right now, and that sucks. So I've had to find a new way to scratch that itch in a way, and content creation and trying to expand on that and figure out new ways to bring more of that into the world and for us, for myself, for my own content, so and it's worked really well, and I like to think it's paying off as well because I like to think my content has really stepped up quite a bit, but I still do wish I was playing. So there is still a little bit of me that's like, find a way, dude. Find a way.
Yep.
And we just found out that there's a St. Louis men's baseball league.
Yep.
Didn't know about that, but
Yeah, shout out Nick for that one.
yeah, no kidding.
Really.
But like that's definitely piqued my interest as well because that would be awesome because that's a real sport. Not that slow pitch isn't, but comparatively,
comparatively to baseball, yeah. There's a difference.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, like find what you're passionate. So not find your what's the thing that we always make fun of, but
It's like find your passion or
find
self-care or that type of thing.
Yeah, find yourself. Like, no, that's not what we're talking
Yeah.
about. Find what you're passionate about. So when you're doing things, you're like, this makes me feel excited. This makes me feel happy. I get, blank when I get to do this. Those are the things we want you to spend more time on.
This makes me the most productive citizen possible.
Yeah.
That's something as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because if you keep, like you said, your mental health in check, you also will be more productive at work.
Exactly.
Which financially you should be able to take care of your family better.
Right.
Or yourself better.
Right.
Yeah.
And, and the last thing here, because we got 2 other points here we want to go over. But, it could literally be anything. I don't know if you've always thought, man, I'd love to start a YouTube channel reviewing movies.
Oh, yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Turn your iPhone on, because iPhone cameras are great. Turn your iPhone on. Start talking about the movie you just watched. If you want to review snacks, start reviewing snacks. If you want to,
just don't turn into that one dude who it literally looks like the caterpillar from A Bug's Life or something like that, and he just
mukbangs.
Yes.
Oh.
See, but those what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
It's this guy
yeah,
that's just
yeah.
sloppy and he just
Yeah.
eats food. Yeah,
don't do that.
Yeah,
But or
Bugs Life.
if you want to do something with your dog, like on YouTube or Instagram, guys, it could literally
dude,
be anything.
that's actually a really good one. Funny
Yeah.
enough, because people love their dogs, and it's easy to make content with your dog because
is.
you are in a great mood.
All you got to do is just turn the camera on too. Your dog's gonna do the work.
Well, Wurtz and I just gave you 5 ideas right there, guys. So
exactly.
we made this easy.
If you want to stream video games,
Yeah.
start streaming, bro.
I keep telling Wurtz this. I keep telling Wurtz this.
Yeah, well, whatever. But anyway, guys, whatever you're passionate about, start spending more time on it. Next, and this sort of goes in with this one, but not really, but kind of, is learn a new skill.
Oh yeah.
That's number 2 for the rest of the year. Learn a new skill. This can just help make yourself more marketable. Okay, so if you have another skill, so again, I'll use my example of content creation, using things like Adobe Premiere Pro, and paying for a professional software like that, and learning the ins and outs of it to make my content better for us, and again for myself. That's a good example of what I've done. But it could literally be anything. Learn a new skill. It could be learning how to paint. It could be learning how to brew your own beer. It could be
that's a really cool
yeah.
one. That's what
yeah.
Ryan Reeves did in the NHL.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
He literally started his own microbrewery.
Yeah.
An NHL player.
My uncle makes his own wine. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
If you I don't know, if you want to learn how to change oil in cars or change a tire, learn a new skill.
Go to Sam James.
Go to Sam James, Louder Lifted. Yeah, what up?
What up?
So just spend time, and again, this is why it goes into the first point is spend time on that. So, man, I really like watching good-looking content on YouTube. I'm going to learn how to do that. So then learn how to do that. It doesn't have to it doesn't have to be expensive. It could literally be free. But yeah, learn a new skill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so what even came to my head when we originally thought of learning a new skill for point number 2 here, guys, is, for example, Wurtz, this is an easy example for Wurtz and I, is one thing him and I are working on is getting what's called our CES, which is a corrective exercise specialization. It's through NASM, but it's basically it's a ability to make us work with, I don't want to say less abled population, but injured populations and people that need
deficient,
need a little bit more specialized exercise.
Than
just pick up a deadlift bar or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. So it makes us as trainers more marketable. So learning a new skill, even in your field, is a good option for this too, because it makes you, again, a better option for whether it's at your current job or Maybe it even increases your salary at a new job, whatever it is, or maybe it helps with your entrepreneurship ventures and whatnot as well.
And it'll give you more leverage is basically the overall
100%.
point of what you're trying to say there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude.
No, I think that's a really important one. And it can also be really, really fun too.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you are passionate about learning that new skill, combining 1 and 2 there, 1A, 1B. Then it's going to be fun as well, and I think that's also important. Point number 3. Go ahead, dude.
Oh, we're ready. So, final point, guys. Very, very simple here. Get outside and get moving.
Yep. You had to know that was coming with us.
Yeah. I mean,
we talk about this every episode.
By the way, guys, we're going to keep talking about this until the U.S. isn't 45% obese or 75% overweight.
Yeah.
Because we're going to assume that you guys aren't hearing the message until that happens.
Not pretty much, dude.
I mean, so, guys, this is extremely simple. I'm not even going to tell you to go to the gym, be a meathead, lift weights, whatever. As much as that would be a good thing to do.
Are you making fun of me right
yes.
now? Am I a meathead?
Yes. Yep.
Interesting, bro. Interesting.
Wurtz will keep that in mind.
I hope you trip on the ice tonight.
Well, I pretty much do every game, so it's perfect. I already took care of that for you. But, guys, so get outside, get moving is a very, very basic point because it is a foundational point. It is a very, concrete building block type of point because if you're not doing getting outside, getting sun, or getting outside, getting fresh air, because just because you only want to go outside when it's 75 degrees and perfect outside with no humidity, well, if we're in Missouri, that happens once every 3 weeks in the summer at most. In the summer.
Right. Or probably more in the spring, because
true.
Today, it's 75 and sunny. It's beautiful outside.
Yes.
Yesterday it was literally 40 and windy and raining.
Exactly.
That's
so your perfect conditions aren't going to happen when it says get outside. But getting outside is very important.
It is.
Because getting outside connected with nature has been what humans have done since our existence.
Yeah. Forever.
So very much so a foundational skill. Get moving, guys, could be anything. Again, we've talked about this. It could be your type of cardiovascular activity. One of Mitch and I's friends I guess he would be all of our friends now. I think about it. His passion is mountain biking. And he is very, very good at it.
Yeah.
And we'll see him on, whatever apps we're connected with him on, and he'll be doing 25 plus miles on the bike through mountain biking.
Yeah.
And he's very good at it. So that's a good example. It's crazy. But that's a good example because it's not like he's strength training. I mean, I'm assuming he does some strength training.
Sure.
But again, it doesn't have to be go to the gym. Because usually a lot of times that's what you hear with fitness.
Right.
But
go to the gym.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
And it's that's not your only option.
Right.
Now, again, Wurtz and I will always say 2 to 3 days a week at minimum is very important in the gym because bone density,
for strength
organ
training.
health, strength training, etc.
Right.
That's very important.
Yes.
But cardiovascular stuff that you love to do, like this guy loves mountain biking, is a good example of something that you should also be doing.
Right.
Of some kind of activity. And again, getting outside also means 7 days a week, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry to tell you, but you should be outside of some form every day, even if it's a 15-minute walk. By the way, if a 15-minute walk is a challenge for you to get outside, and that's the only thing you do all day, start there. But you got to build on top of that.
I was
That's
say,
a big building point.
For some people, it may be may be a challenge. So we're not discrediting that, but that should be your indication. Okay, I got to make some changes.
Yes.
If a 15-minute walk is just beating me and I'm out of breath and all this stuff, okay, use that as a sign. Oh shit. I might need to make a change if I can't walk my dog for 15 minutes. You know what I mean? Or I can't walk down the block for 15 minutes. That should be your sign. Okay, we got to make a diet change. We got to make these walks happen maybe 2 times a day. I need to drink more water. I need to get to sleep on time, things like that. And Mitch, in a second here, I want you to talk about what you do. Obviously you work from home. You're surrounded by screens all day long. My dad is similar in that sense. He is able to go to the office, but he is also surrounded by screens. But pretty much every day, and I think I've talked about this on a previous episode, but pretty much every day at lunchtime, he goes and walks around. There's a lake right by his office building. I want to say he does 1.25 miles or something like that almost every single day, rain or shine. He brings an umbrella and stuff. So he finds a way. And I know a lot of you, especially now more than ever, are working from home. You're staring at a screen all day long. Find a way to get outside and get away from the screens is really the main point here. That's something he's been doing for a long time. And Mitch, I know you do something similar.
Yeah. So the book I'm reading right now, it's written by Anna Lemke. It's one of Huberman's, I think, colleagues.
Andrew Huberman.
Look
him up, please.
It's called Dopamine Nation.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of this.
It's it just recently released. I think it's fairly new. But it talks about how we're just inundated with constant dopamine all day long, whether that may be TikTok, Instagram, social media, your emails. You'll get a dopamine rush when you get a new work email from a client or something like that.
Or a confirmation email from an online order. Or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. So,
man, that's something I didn't even think about.
Yeah.
That's so true,
it
though.
gives you, and so it talks about how America, I guess, in general, we almost rely on dopamine as a drug nowadays. And once we go dopamine deficient, it's almost like a withdrawal type thing.
Yeah.
We can't go without our device. We have to go with our phone everywhere we go. We have to do X, Y, and Z. And I guess the point I'm coming to is kind of how I avoid that in your point. One of Huberman's actually recommendations is before I start work in the morning, I'll go outside and I'll do a 10-minute walk and get some sunlight without sunglasses, without anything like that, and get as much vitamin D as possible. Set your number one circadian rhythm correctly so you are actually tired when bedtime comes around.
Right.
And you're not laying in bed at 2 a.m. being like, I literally cannot fall asleep.
Yeah.
Usually that's a lot of the case because you have artificial light all day from your monitors. And then another thing is creating separation from devices. So I'm around digital stuff all day. I'm around computers and whatnot all day long. And I have to find ways to create that separation. Lunchtime, similar to your dad, I'll sometimes go on walks. Sometimes I don't have that much time. But when I do eat lunch, I won't watch YouTube. I won't turn on the TV. I won't sit on my phone and scroll through Reddit. I won't, do X. I won't work. I'll go outside if it's nice outside, if it's not pouring rain or whatever. And I will not look at anything. I won't have a podcast. I will have as much sensory deprivation as possible and just eat food. It's a crazy concept, not to be. It's strange that we have to designate that that's a weird concept, but it is.
Right. I was about to say
because
that.
most people are gonna say you just sit there and eat in silence. It's kind of weird. It's not that weird. Just and that's the one big thing is creating separation from my devices during the day. It's a switch. It's just like those routines. You have to have different switches. And I think I've heard big name people talk about this a lot. You have to have switches for each kind of portion of your life.
James Clear, Atomic Habits.
Where you kind of have a switch for work, and then you get home and you have to turn on the switch to interact with your kids and wife. And then you have a switch to turn on to play hockey. You have to have a separate switch for each of those in order to be effective in each of those.
Right.
If you come home and interact with your kids and you're in the mindset of you're still working and dealing with a client, you're going to treat your children and your wife completely incorrectly.
Right.
Without love, without passion, whatever it may be. So I think that's the biggest thing is creating routines and switches to separate that. And it's hard, you have to walk, when your commute is 15 steps, it's difficult to create that separation.
Yeah.
And one thing when I was living in Minneapolis is I lived in a studio, but I still created a separation. So it's not like I had my desk my desk was right next to my bed, but I still had a physical separation between that. I would have a divider, whether that be like one of those little wooden wall type things.
Yeah.
I'd physical separation where either I wouldn't sit at the desk once the day was done, I'd go sit somewhere else. I wouldn't work in my bed because then your brain thinks, oh, you can combine the two.
Right.
You have to create that separation. That's the biggest thing I'd say.
Yeah, I think that's super important, especially like I said earlier, with now more than ever, people are working from home, and just their office is their house is their office, so
Yep.
I think that's great stuff and great insight there from you, Mitch. Yeah. But guys, those are 3 tips we wanted to leave you with to, again, dominate the rest of 2023.
Dominate.
Yeah. And each one of those are very important, and each one of those can all go hand in hand, and they really do, honestly. But guys, we want to leave you with that value before we head out here. But guys, thank you for joining us for Season 3, Episode 1. Welcome to Season 3, everybody.
Welcome.
Yeah. So guys, went over the new format names, went over what's been going on the past few weeks with us, and then gave you 3 tips to dominate the rest of the year. Continue sharing the show, guys. Spotify and Apple Music make it super easy to share this to your Instagram stories. So please continue doing that. Please continue talking to people about the episodes, because that helps us grow. It helps us reach more people. And we know it happens, but continue to do that, please. We are also on YouTube. If you did not know, if you like to watch podcasts, you can see our funny looking faces on YouTube and whatnot. But we are also there.
Sometimes particularly handsome faces too.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah, I did say sometimes.
Yes,
but,
yes.
There's a reason they don't put me on camera.
Oh my, wow.
Just cooks himself there.
Oh my
Damn,
gosh.
Mitch.
Just flamethrowed himself.
We're going to have to give him a hug afterwards.
Yeah, oh my gosh. We're going to have an intervention after this.
Anyway, guys, we appreciate you joining us here for episode 1 of season 3. We are so excited to bring you awesome content the rest of the year, along with a lot of episodes, a lot of good guests. We do have our first guest lined up for season 3,
Oh, yeah.
along with a lot of other ones that we are going to hopefully bring on. So, guys, thank you for listening. Until next time, peace and love.
Thanks, guys.